Welcome to another episode of Inqua Talks Mini Chats, and thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel, and if you have, give thanks. Accompanying me today, we have Papa P, Penicillin.
Salute.
We have the Bully, Paku Tattoo. And we have Joey Rose, Inks the Mist. Today we're going to be discussing plagiarism, stealing designs, theft, robbery, thieving, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Borrowing.
It's labeled under inspiration now, isn't it?
Commandeering. But with the way that art has exploded over the last 5 years, is it possible to not be influenced by other artists? Because there's so much stuff that's gone out. Like imagine, like there's a design of Nefertiti that's gone around. So her head is sideways. She's got like the scarab hair. Everybody's done the design.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the artist of that, do you see that like, everybody's doing my design? Or are you like, nah, man, this is straight out robbery? If you're the guy that came up with that, or the girl that came up with that originally, are you like, fuck, man, this is robbery? Or are you like, it's a compliment? How do you take it? How do you go forward with that?
Well, who wants to jump in?
Who wants to jump in, man?
In the beginning, I think it's a compliment, but then after, when everyone starts using it, it's just lazy and robbery at the end of it, I guess. But it depends how you see it. But
I think it's up to rather the guy that did it was a tattoo artist or just an illustrator. If you're an illustrator and you post something online and it gets popular, then I mean, technically, if somebody takes it in that way, he didn't really steal the design from you. He just like recognized the fact that you did a good job, and somebody is happy, so happy with the design that they're happy to get it inked. I think it's down to whether the design is done by a tattoo artist or not. I found one of my design on Pinterest once, and I was like, Ross, what is this? The girl that took it wasn't a tattoo artist, but she had like a folder, say tattoo projects, and my design was in it, but I never heard of the girl. So I know potentially somebody's gonna take that and get it inked somewhere else and stuff. Was it
projects for her? Was it projects for her to get inked? Or
no, I never seen the girl. There was like a little picture on Pinterest, like you couldn't really see the face properly, but in any case, I knew I'd done the design for no one. That was just drawing. So
did you contact her?
I didn't contact her. I mean, it says tattoo project, doesn't mean maybe she's gonna come to me. Who knows? She never did, but probably somebody inked it.
True.
Who knows?
True.
I'm not really mad about it, but I'm not mad at all, to be honest. Unless I see it and I see the guys like repping it. Oh yeah, I did that. Look, this is my thing. Then I think that's when I'm gonna get mad. But until I see it and I see the guys, I see the guy who did it, acting up, then I don't mind.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason why we post designs, so we get recognized somehow.
True. I mean, I've had a few bits taken from me before. Well, obviously, everybody's influenced by something, but like you said, it's annoying when the person's like, "Yeah, I did this," and but when it comes down to it, if you have to reproduce something like that again, you may not have the capabilities to reproduce it, so that's where you get found out. In that sense, when people take your stuff and then they can produce that specific image, but when someone else comes to them and says, I want something like this, or I want to change this, they're fucked.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways. You have to, it's good to take influence from something, but it's not good to just take something.
I think everything is influenced by everything, There's everyone steals. you know, in terms of nothing's original, you know. I mean,
It's stealing though.
I mean, it depends what you're doing with it, in terms of if you're putting yourself into it to some extent, or you know, sometimes you see something and after, you know, you're inspired by it, and then you look at it and you're like, no, it looks too close to something else. It's not always done on purpose, I don't think. But, you know, I do think that there are people out there who just manipulate the situation and obviously continuously take, you know, from other artists and stuff like that without doing the work.
Yeah.
And you know, there are specific things in certain artists' work which you can know it's theirs. And, you know, there's the laziness in the copier's work, which actually falls through in the end. You know what I mean? So it eventually falls through. But I mean, if you put stuff out in the world, that's what's going to happen. You know, it's something you have to let go of. You know, if you're putting it on, otherwise don't post it. You know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, if you don't post it or if you don't show,
you'll get exposure.
It's not even that. It's just that you're not giving back to, because I don't think that, you know, when you draw something or you're inspired by something and you create something which you think is new, it's your job to put it out there to motivate others. It's not. You know, I mean, what's it worth if you're just holding it to yourself? But then you have that fear as well that, you know, you're not going to get recognized. But what does it even matter anyway? You know. Like,
what does recognition mean?
Whose recognition do you want?
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, it's just an ego thing, really. But I mean, I'm saying those things, but it's not a simple thing to do or to come to the realization with when it's happening to you, or if you're in that situation, you know. So it's very tricky because, you know what you went through to come up with something, and then someone just takes it without, you know. Even as an illustrator, I mean, if someone just takes an illustrator's work and they tattoo it, you know, that can be offensive as well, you know, because they
do how it's done, I think.
Yeah, they do it for a specific purpose. Unless it's a collaboration and you deal with someone on that level, then that becomes interesting.
Okay, then what about how does that work? Because let's take for example Dragon Ball Z. There's artists out there that make a living. When I say a living, I mean a living of tattooing Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z came out in 1986, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Doesn't matter. Came out in the 80s. Yeah. Some of these guys weren't born until the 90s, late 90s.
Yeah, but whose artwork is not for us to own? It doesn't matter, you know. It's not for us to own. Like, I mean, if I was born at a time when something was happening, obviously something was happening when I was born. I don't know. I can't give examples now, but and then I'm inspired by another generation before me. It doesn't mean that, you know, it's wrong if I put my all in it. You know, there's a genuine thing which goes with people, no matter, you know, like there's singers who sing like they're not from this time, you know. But are they wrong because they do their job well?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but I'm just going off of what you said when you said that when you just straight take something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not saying these guys that do what they do are wrong. I'm just saying that is an example of when you just take something and you just reproduce it.
Where does it start and when
where does it start and where does it stop? Yeah.
Because a photography of someone, an artist took the picture.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to change it before you use it.
Exactly.
So there's a line of where it starts and where it stops. Even a sculpture, somebody went in there and, you know, put that thing together, the angel or whatever, and then you grab it, you tattoo it. Is that fair?
Yeah. So it's it's kind of like Will said, where does it start and where does it stop? It's a continuous cipher when it comes to taking work, stealing work, being influenced, whatever it may be.
It's a question of, are we supposed to create every single thing with tattoo? I don't think we are. I mean, why? We can get influenced by, inspired by, But are we supposed to create everything? I don't think so. I mean, if I draw a character, I'm always gonna have maybe a pose of somebody in front of me, and I'm just gonna use the pose and then do it my own way in the end. But I'm gonna start from something. And even if you start from your head, that's just a memory of something you saw.
But the whole thing is, I don't think anyone's work can be the same, you know, completely anyway. You know?
No, it will never be completely the same.
So,
but it could be similar.
Similar life experiences. I don't know. There's I mean, in terms of a lot of tribal tattooing, you know, a lot of it is stuff which was going on ages ago, you know? So does it make you a copy artist if you use shark's teeth in your work? It doesn't, no? So, I mean, that's a very, that's one you can look at, you know?
But isn't in some way, shape or form, like you said about shark's teeth, isn't that like a tool in terms of building your design or putting it in the right place to complement something? Or I'm asking you.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a specific shape, or, you know, so who owns that shape? It's not about the design itself. It's about who owns that shape. Can someone say, you know, oh, that's my shape now? Because that will put restrictions on all forms of art. If someone says something and claims it completely to be theirs, it means, oh, you know, if you think about this, but then your mind is not going to work in the same way, as it's going to look in another direction because you're afraid to use this because someone has used this. So your work will affect the outcome of everything.
Yeah.
You know, if you put restrictions on things, you can't put restrictions on things. I understand, like, I mean, in terms of art in general, you know, there are people who are just naturally talented and just do whatever, but a lot of people have, you know, had to struggle and push through because it's not, I mean, you know, it's not a magic way of making a living sometimes, you know. A lot of people have had to struggle and push through, and so they come up with new ideas and new different things. But, you know, if someone just comes along and just takes those things and doesn't show integrity with what they do, you know, I'll be happy if someone took something of what I did and they made it better. You know, I'll be more than happy if someone did that, because I don't own anything I put out. You know, I mean, but if they made it worse, or didn't understand what I was trying to do to some extent, that means
isn't that down to your point of perspective, whether it's better or worse?
That's
when the point of offense comes in.
Yeah, but I mean that's when, I mean, there's clear examples of, you know, where you can see where people have just you know, like, copied a tattoo completely and then they've drawn in the nipple of the actual human being who was there. You know, those that weird shit you see all the time, and where, you know, they've drawn in or put shading as creases on the person's skin who was actually, you know, just taking it, which was a photographic thing, not actually a part of the tattoo. You know, that's lazy. That's clear, blatant being lazy and not understanding, and just, you know, taking an image and just seeing it and photocopying it without understanding what's going on with the body. You know.
So is it not lazy then if you take that image and you copy it, just without the nipple and without the creases, and you
directly? If you copy it directly, it depends what that image is. If it's an image of a square.
Well, no, if it's an image of a square, if it's something you've done a design or Joe's done, any one of us has done a design, and someone takes that and copies it.
No, I'll find that disrespectful to some extent, you know, because what's the point?
Yeah, but at the same time, you just said you don't own it. So if you don't own it, then
yeah, but I mean, like I said, it depends on what the person has done with it, you know, on what the person has done with it.
Basically, if you like it, you allow it.
Yeah, basically.
If you don't like it,
basically.
No,
because if they've made necessary changes for it to be different, rather than, you know, just keep it the same, you know. You know, there's the lazy changes as well. Oh, I'm just going to move one square down, or, you know, I'm just going to take off one triangle. You know what I mean? I'm just going to add an extra change, even though, you know, those are lazy changes. You know what I mean? But when you see that someone has has pushed it and tried to push a bit further than what you may have been able to do. It's easy to say this, but it's not easy to do it, you know. But I mean, it does take time. Once you know, it's not like a process like, oh, you know, it's okay. It's, you know, you see the thing, then you go. You might think about it for a while, then you're like, you know, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's never gonna, like Rob said, it's never gonna come from the right place, from the person who's stealing it. So they'll never be able to create anything, you know, honest and true. So if someone comes and asks the next time, it's gonna look like, you know, another artist's work. You know,
Yeah.
But there are people who are just photocopiers, and that's what they do. I don't know if there's anything wrong with that, you know.
Yeah. I think nowadays in tattooing, that's another art form. There's I mean, it is what it is, you know. But I mean, for me, you know, it's the photocopying is a problem as well, because it's good to see the, you know, I don't know if they're little mistakes or anything, you know, like if there's no room for error, there's no room for change. So you just keep making the same stuff again and again and again. So that's why this photocopying thing is a problem, because it will limit the amount of things which can actually be made, because maybe people will be afraid to, you know, put stuff out. So, you know, people are harboring ideas in their, you know, a lot of the time it's in their own little room, you know. And then when if they actually had put that out, you know, maybe someone who had a bigger view than them might create it into something else. You know, if all the tattooing was just hidden, or, you know, always, just hidden within studios, or, you know, just kept to oneself, how would we know what's going on? But at the same time, there is this weird thing that happens where, you know, everything happens at the same time, where, you know, you do a design and then someone else across the world who could have never seen that design will do something similar. Has that ever happened? Yes.
Or you're like, oh shit, you know, so there's these frequencies which are going out, and then you're like, oh shit, I wish I had done that, but you didn't, you know. So I mean, ideas and stuff like that, they just come, you know what I mean? So we can't be afraid of putting stuff out, because the only reason you can be afraid of putting stuff out is if you're thinking that's going to be your best stuff, you know, which
like you've hit a ceiling. You feel like you've hit a ceiling, so now you can't
then you should be afraid. But, you know, I don't think we should ever stop. I don't think there is a ceiling, you know.
So are you talking about, for example, you put some stuff out, it gets stolen. Yeah. You put some more stuff out, it gets stolen, and now you're thinking, right, I can't put nothing out because it's just gonna keep getting eaten up or bitten up.
But the thing is, if you put stuff out and it keeps on getting stolen, but the stuff that you put out, you do ink it, so you do get a revenue from it.
Who's this one guy?
But that's what I said. Bro, do you remember back in the day when I used to do them, when we first opened, I used to do them flash sheets?
Yeah.
How many times did people, like, we'd be going through Instagram or Facebook, and I'd see my design, I'd be like, I don't remember tattooing this person.
Yeah.
I don't remember and then you see it's done someone else. And I knew that I drew it from scratch.
Yeah.
And I see the design done by someone else in another studio, not too far from me. But it happens, man. It happens. There's nothing you can do about it. But I made my revenue from that design. So I didn't really feel too, but I'm still making revenue from the designs. I didn't feel too bugged about it. But at some point, it's like, when you've worked hard to create a look or a style or something you've honed and you've looked after and cared for a long time, and you've built it up, and people come to recognize it as yours. I think that's when it becomes a little bit frustrating, when people take your stuff and
thing is, there's an extra question is, who's to blame?
Yeah.
Let's say you're a tattoo artist, it's a dry month. Right? Somebody comes through the door with your design. I don't know you, but they show me your design and they say to me, I went to Rob, you want to charge me 150 for it, but I only have 100. Can you do it for me?
Nah, you can't do that. You can't do that, man. What's that?
Yeah, but if you don't know Rob, if you don't know Rob,
it doesn't.
No, but if you don't know Rob, and you're in a position where you got to feed your kids, and you're in a position where you got to feed your kids, who's wrong?
If Bolly don't want to do it, I'll do it.
You don't do that.
I do it.
You don't do that. Something's gonna bite you in your ass. You know. No,
I do it clean, bro. I'm not gonna lie. The dry.
Yeah, but when that happens though, you never take them clients seriously anyway. When they come through the door and like, I went to this studio and they want to charge me this much, not to take them clients seriously. Because they've already taken £100 off.
Yeah, you know who you're dealing with.
I've had that before. The shop down the road was charging me £40. I'm thinking, okay, you better go down there.
You know what I mean? What, the shop down the road was charging you £40 in 1999.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of here, man.
But I think in 2021, I think the question is, should you really, or should we really be that precious about our designs? Like once you put it out, someone saved it, someone screenshotted it, someone's taken it and going to use it elsewhere, or keep it for reference. Like so once you've released your design on the internet, it's not yours anymore. I think you just have to accept it's not yours. It belongs to the world, and they can do what they see fit with it. And you can't stop it. So what can you do? You can't restrict your own promotion or recognition because other people are going to do what they want with it. It's just you've released it now, and it belongs to the world.
We can't license. It's not music,
Yeah.
We can't license. It's not like a virus that we have a pattern that we can sell or anything. So once it's out there, it's everybody's design. That's the truth at the end of the day. Yeah. Only the real artists.
But the thing is, everybody. Yeah, but the thing is, there's a clear difference, which is very hard to explain, I guess, between being inspired by something and stealing. But everyone knows what stealing is. And people know what being inspired by something is.
Yeah, I mean,
do they know? Does everyone know what stealing is, though?
But the thing is,
I recognize it as I do one design, the guy next door take it. I do two design, the guy next door take it again.
Yeah,
from
so
two, you
need to talk to this guy a bit,
Yeah, but it's especially
the thing is, you can come across people who you speak to them and then they're like, oh, but they really like work.
I think especially with things, and especially we'll probably know, like in realism, a lot of time you'll get a client to come in and say, I want this. Can you do this? You don't know what other artists have produced it in the world or where they got it from on Pinterest. It's like, I've seen this, I don't know, realism lion. I want this with I don't know, whatever around it, clouds and whatever stuff around it. And it's like, okay, I can tattoo that now. You're photocopying, but it's someone else's design. It's like, so what do you do?
No, a tat. If somebody comes up to me with a tat, say, I want this, I tell them, yeah, we can do something similar. That'll be my line. We can do something similar.
Yeah.
If I'm broke and you come to me, yeah, I want this, I tell you, sit down. It depends on the situation.
Look at Wally.
No, hold on. The reason why I'm being very honest here is because I know myself. I know I can draw. I know I can produce my own design, but I know I got to put money in my bank account as well. And as I said, it's a situation where I'm fully dry. I'm fully dry. The guy's like, oh yeah, I'm flying tomorrow. I need this piece done right now. Can you do it? I say, sit down. No, serious, buddy. Serious, man. Even if it's your design. So yeah, that's my design. I'll do it.
Well, in the chair next to you,
What is up?
But
the situation where I can understand that somebody just tattoos my own stuff, in the situation where I'm like, yeah, dude, you're not getting inspired. You're literally waiting for me to drop something to do something similar. That's not getting inspired anymore. That's just waiting for someone to produce something that you're just going, oh yeah. I open the eyes and you get the eyes closed and everything is the same. You're not getting inspired. You're just waiting for me to drop ideas.
For example, do you think, I forgot, Sarah Galesh? Is it Galesh or Galesh?
Yeah.
That does the Africa. Do you think she's pissed off the amount of tattoos that she's seen of her artwork?
She's not a tattoo artist, so can she be pissed off? I don't know.
No, I think that's made her more famous.
Because
I think even if 50% of the people who have tattooed Sarah Galash pieces have tagged her, 50% of the people, that's millions.
But if you was her, would you be pissed that people?
If I was her, not if I'm getting that many tags. Someone's gonna pay attention.
I wouldn't be pissed because I'm not a tattoo artist, and she's not
free advertisement,
and she's not tattooing them.
Right.
She's gaining from it. But those Sarah Goodish stuff, people come to me, oh yeah, I want something, I want this, but can you change it? I say no. If you want Sarah Goodish, I give you Sarah Goodish the way it is on the picture, done, you go home. If you want something similar to this, but you want me to do you me or I do you her, but don't come and tell me, yeah, you
remix
mix it up and whatever, that's not gonna work. You're still gonna be able to see that Sarah Goodish, and that's why I don't want to be working from somebody else design that's really distinct. You can really see when she does something. And that's the reason why I wouldn't even be able to just mix it up, because straight away you'd be like, oh, did you try to steal a design and do all stuff with it? That's rubbish. You know, that's rubbish. So either I do the picture the way it is exactly as if it was a photography, and I tag her in because I want people to know that, you know, I'm not trying to steal the designs, and then I'll be done, you know. I think it's a question of that as well. If somebody takes your design and tags you in, did he steal it? Or is he fully aware that, yeah, that's your design? I know, bro, but you know.
Yeah. I've had artists that I've known that have tattooed my designs, and I ain't even tattooed them, and they've tagged me in it. You can get vexed about it all you want, but it's done. You can't undo the tattoo. It's done. You're just raising up your own blood pressure for no reason. The Sarah Golash example, like I was saying, she gets bare notoriety from it. So she's probably hacked because she's probably gotten more work from people tattooing her designs than not.
But it depends on the artist, because if you're drawing stuff and it wasn't your intention for people to run with it and tattoo it, and that's not how you want to see your art, and you can get touchy.
You're a victim of your own success. Yeah. That's your own success. I mean, are you supposed to be pissed off because you're popular? I mean,
yeah.
If what you do is recognized as being really good by artists and by people that wants to get inked, just be happy with it. I'd be happy with it. If I was just an illustrator, I'd be like, wow, everybody's on my stuff, and you get the props back as well, because most of the time she gets tagged, so people are going to her page, following, supporting, and etc. Yeah. If tomorrow she does an exhibition, I'm pretty sure that thing's going to be packed.
Yeah.
It's not going to be packed because she's just great. She's great, but it's going to be packed because of all the other guys that supported her, getting a revenue from it, but supporting her in any case. I mean, so can she be pissed off? Probably. Should she be pissed off? Nah.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, at least. I mean, and that goes for everybody, you know. Like you said, you put a design out there, that's everybody's design, and what's going to happen to it, you don't know.
Yeah, well, I think once you get to a certain point where your stuff is known, or you've got a look, or whatever it may be, people will pay attention to it. Once people are paying attention to it, someone's going to be influenced by it. And once someone's influenced or inspired, they may not even be in your time. The internet's the whole planet. So just think of how many times your design has been seen over and over and over and over
shared,
again. Yeah.
Printed out.
I was on a tattoo collective page, and I was just flicking through the page. I saw someone in Brazil done one of my flash from like 2014. I mean, but they were promoting it as theirs in 2019. And I was just like, well, that's a compliment. That means I've done something that's gone out into the world so much it's reached Brazil. So it works both ways. It works both ways.
Yeah, it especially works if it's abroad.
Yeah.
If it's local, that's a piece take.
Yeah.
If it's abroad, then at the end of the day, you can't reach those people.
Yeah.
So big deal. Be happy that the design, you know, was good looking to some Brazilian people, you know. Anybody you can't reach, then let it be. Let it be.
Yeah, for real. Well, I think we've come to the end of the show.
Brazil's not.
Oh, you want
far.
more?
Huh?
You got more to say?
Brazil's not that far.
This guy.
We've come to the end of the show.
Australia.
Thanks for everyone for watching. Please like the video, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks, guys, for joining me.
Like. Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys, for joining me. And don't forget to follow everyone's socials. Do you guys want to big up your socials while you're here?
Penicillin, man. Just like penicillin. With a K.
Paku Wale, yeah.
Is it Paku Wale? No, man. One of them's got to
Wale
go.
or Wale?
Huh?
One of them's got to
Wale
go.
or Wale?
Wale.
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 Wale. Okay, Wale.
No, the same, my name.
Give thanks for watching, guys. One love.
All right.